Patch today, Scylla patch.
Probably Scylla. I'll catch that case.
Couple other changes. They nerfed PvEing a little bit, mainly the split push side of PvEing and being able to like backdoor a Titan. They buff serrated. They changed some other gods. I think Athena got a buff. Very micro buffs within the buffs though. So we're gonna do a tier list. We're gonna cover this. We're gonna talk about Scylla. Scylla's gonna be the main point of this. This is OB. Is it OB 10? Are we on 10 already? 11. It's 11? Oh, we're already on 11. Dude, this year is going by too fast. I'm not gonna lie. All right. Well, Achilles really hasn't changed much. So I'd put him around like the A, you could argue B tier. I really just like him in the game as long as you know your laning phase. Just a lot of people lose laning phase. Now, I'm getting Woody to add it in so I can do an aspect version of a god. We haven't really figured it out yet, but I'm gonna get him to do it. Aspect Agni is S tier. There's a video, if you haven't seen it, on like a play-by-play where I talk about Aspect Agni. I show you why it's OP. It's very obvious. It's completely broken. Regular Agni, I'd put in B tier. Aspect Agni is S tier. Hasn't been nerfed. Hasn't been touched. No items for him has been touched. He has not been nerfed a single time. He is still S tier, top of the game. 100% should play it every game. Aladdin, I think I'm also going to move, like keep Aladdin in S tier. As a mid laner, I don't really mind dealing with Aladdin that much, but I think as a mid laner, he's insanely strong and something you should top pick every game or ban every game. People still have, what are we like 6 months into Aladdin? People still don't know how to beads the ult. If you don't understand Aladdin ult, it's very simple. He makes a specific noise. You can go learn that if you want to. And then after the noise, he winds up his arm like a baseball throw. If you beads when he starts to wind up, or even when you hear the sound, he can't ult you. It's impossible. If you beads anytime after the windup goes through, you're getting ulted no matter what. You're trolling. Just to help you out a bit. Ama, I'd put in C tier. Like it kind of in the jungle, and that's about it. Not super strong. I think Honor is much, much stronger right now than we've seen in a while. I think he's completely slept on. I like him a lot. Go Hasten Fatalis. For the love of everything in your life, go Hasten Fatalis, please. Please, please, please. I'm going to put Anubis in B tier. The Bloodbound book, lifesteal changes, plus the nerf to anti-heal, capping at 75%, makes gods like Anubis still really strong and probably just runs lower end games because people don't build enough lifesteal in the first place. I kind of like Anubis right now. I wouldn't put him higher because he still gets locked down and dies. However, it's not going to be a damage thing. It's going to be a CC thing where like before Anubis just dies regardless. Now, if he's not CC locked, he kind of goes crazy. Aphrodite, I'd put in C tier, situational, hard to get away with, mainly a support. Apollo's being slept on. Apollo's being slept on. There's like there's two really good ADCs, right? It's Aspect, Agni, and then Bari. Then you follow from there. I think both of these gods are slept on. Straight up. Apollo's really safe in lane. Really hard to gank. Like it a lot. Then we talk about the Aspect. I ran Aspect mid. I got to play it a little more, but at high level rank game, I played Aspect, Apollo mid. And I was just running kids over. They couldn't, I could 1v3. They couldn't do anything to me. I'm not sold on the Aspect yet. I think it's more fun than good, but I think Apollo in general without Aspect is good A tier. Ares, I don't know where I'd put Ares. I'm gonna be honest. I'm like in between these two, but I think I'm shifting my mindset out of the support role. I think I'm gonna put him in B. His consistency is a little weird. Active items are insanely strong right now, making it hard for him to play the game. You almost guaranteed don't go Blink on Ares and you go Cersei's, which a lot of people can't process. So I'm going to leave Ares in B. Arguing A is fine. Any lower is no way. He's no lower than B for sure. Artemis, I think Artemis is overhyped. One of the easiest gods to deal with out of the ADC role. Has to be close range. Basically has to dive. Magi's counters it. Cersei's counters his boar. There's a bunch of ways to play around Artemis, and she should just be dove all the time. Athena's back. I believe this. I'm not sure of. Somebody said they buffed this shield Athena gives in non-aspect. Aspect Athena's ass. Don't touch it. F tier. Non-aspect regular Athena A tier. Someone said they buffed this shield. No, not in the jungle. Support. Jungle BC probably B, but maybe C. Somewhere in between. Maybe like a C plus. As a support, buff the shield from the ult. Also, if I'm running jungle, I'm not running aspect either. Buff the shield from the ult. They reduced the cooldown on the 2, and then I think they reduced the cooldown on the 3 in the last patch as well. The taunt reduction was 2 patches ago. Every time I play against Athena from support role, she goes crazy. Her laning phase is not bad. She can interrupt most of the more annoying supports. I'd say Sobek is probably one of the ones that just dumpsters her in lane, so ban Sobek if you want to play it. She's slept on player. She's simple. Easiest god in the game to play the sport. You level the 2, you taunt before doing anything else, you win the game. OB11 is still very good, counters a lot of gods, very good damage output. They buffed a bunch of the items. I think people were building the wrong first item. It was Hydra's for a long time because it had a lot of strength and cooldown. Now I think it's either Avengers or Serrated first item on almost every assassin. But I do like OB11. Bacchus, lower than Ares, C tier. Situational out of the support. I do think crit Bacchus aspect is another slept on jungle. I'd probably put that in B tier. The only downside to it is being CC'd, but you have basically insta burst damage and it's AoE if you're, they're close enough. Baron with the aspect that's coming Monday, probably still gonna be, I'm gonna say D tier. Hydra's is OP first because of mana regen. You don't need mana regen out of the jungle. If you're using multiple abilities to clear a camp, you're probably playing the game wrong. And if you're fighting that much, then you're either dying a lot and it doesn't matter, or you're getting kills that you need to be resetting to spend the gold. So absolutely incorrect about the 2 mana per second you get from Hydra's. Baron, weak support, weak mid, weak solo. It's a mage that doesn't want to build tank because your base numbers are too low. So, and then if you build damage, your scaling is too low to be a true mage. You're in this weird in between. The aspect is going to be very, very boring, to be honest. It basically just makes it so all your abilities apply more hysteria, which is your passive onto people, the debuff. And if they have over 30 stacks, then they get a ticking damage debuff. I played it a couple times. It was all right. It was barely noticeable, though. I think this Baron is just going to stay D tier. Bologna, I'm putting C tier. Another situational weaker god. Isn't winning many lanes. Doesn't really counter hunters enough to just go to run at their hunter, because then the rest of the team does too much. You'll die to the mage. The mage just got buffed in the recent patches. Baron or Bologna's in C tier. Kabrakan. I wouldn't ban Kabrakan, but I think Kabrakan's a top pick for solo and then even a high pick for support. It's an aggressive support that's very, very hard to kill. Serb, B tier, interruptible and everything. His aspect is a little weird. If the other team has no interrupts, Serb is great. That's like one and never. Almost every team is going to have 2, 3, 4 abilities that'll stop your breathing. Cern. I don't think Cern's bad. I'd probably say B tier. You're not going to be the core part of a team. You don't have CC immunity. You're an ADC though, so you're relevant. You have a cripple, so you're even more relevant. It's just really about your positioning. So I'm going to put Cern in B tier. The damage is there. It's just survivability that's not. Chalk. I don't know. I don't think Chalk is Kabrakan level out of solo. I wouldn't play him anywhere else at all. I also don't think he's Achilles level. He might have a better laning phase and be easier to play at its core. Probably not easier than a Kabrakan. But team fight wise, when you get the late game fights, I feel like he's not scary. Easy to deal with. Very, very easy to deal with. Cupid's doing really well again. People are not going aspect Cupid ADC anymore. I don't even know what changed with that. I don't know if anything did. I think people just want the damage back. Cupid's been doing solid in my games. Danza. I'm moving Danza down. I don't think Danza is bad. I just think it's similar to Art, where like cool, you have certain abilities that are dope, but if anyone's diving on you and committed to killing you, you can't play the game. Fenrir, I'm gonna put in B tier. Easy to counter, but bad players just get farmed by him. Geb, solid support. Not enough damage, doesn't win all the lanes, but it's a very, very good support god. One of the only true supports in the game. Like, I'm gonna peel, I'm gonna save my teammates. Guan, another B tier, just because healing is still very strong. Hades, probably top 2 solos. Very, very strong god. Full damage solo. If you go any tank items, I think it's bad. I'm no one playing Hades at that point. I don't think you should be played in any other role. Hecate, mid. If you're free casting, she's fine. But you tend to want to play like super burst mages right now for the late game. And she's more of consistent good damage. Hercules, I'd say B tier. I don't mind Hercules, but his early game presence is not as much as it was after the slight nerfs they gave him. Mulan, bad god, because late game you fall off. You don't, between channeling your abilities and just still dying, irrelevant. Hunbats, one of the top junglers. Aspect is back. They buffed Aspect Hunbats, it's back. Play Aspect Hunbats. You can be aggressive early. You have a lot of control, a lot of damage output, a lot of setup. Play Hunbats. Izanami, bad. Too easy to play on the dash. Jingwei, situational if you're playing for survivability. You're definitely going to be playing around crit, and they're going to definitely play around anti-crit and just kind of ignoring you unless you're super out of position. Kali. I almost think all forms of Kali are S tier. Mage Kali, still one-shotting late game. Auto attack melee Kali, very, very strong. And then ranged ADC Kali's probably the strongest ADC in the game if you get to late game and your positioning is good. Still harder to play. Kepri, dog shit. Wouldn't play it. Too easy to counter. Kukulkan. I really don't like Kukulkan. I don't think he's bad, but no CC immunity. The ult not hitting hard enough for how hard it is to hit. Your consistency is out of your one polyprocs, which is nice. Not easy to play. Not consistent enough. Explain more on how Hades works from a laning to a team perspective. Well, Hades' laning phase is just good. Sustain, easy poke, usually control the lane. Most people don't know how to play against it. In the team fights, you have mass damage reduction in your ult. Like, you're not dying instantly in your ult. You have crazy setup. Your damage output is very, very high. People are afraid of you. You mainly want to go into the fight after it starts. You don't want to be dropping your ult at the very beginning of most fights. You want the team to be out of position or, you know, grouped. Super strong. Loki, too easy to counter. It's Loki, bro. Like, you go Erendite, you find him, he runs away, he dies. Medusa, I think Medusa is just not worth playing right now because the dash is too easy to stop. Low mobility, no crazy damage. Ability hunters aren't really great right now. Another reason she's even lower. Can play her auto attack, and she does decent as auto attack, but she still just dies too easy. Merlin, I'd put in A tier just because of his consistent damage. Mordred, I put a B tier, solid solo laner. Mainly weaker in late game team fights because of lockdown and anti-heal. Neith, I don't think I'd put Neith in S tier. I do think Neith is nuts, but she's very single target oriented. I'd say she's more of like a top end annoying than a top end ban. Kali, no aspect is still good. Yes. Yes, this is aspect Merlin. Do not play Merlin without aspect. Literally no reason to. If you can't look at the abilities and know what abilities you're about to use, then I wouldn't play Merlin in ranked, and I wouldn't default to no aspect because of that. You need to learn. No aspect Merlin is just a waste of time. Nemesis is back. Hard back. Ability Nemesis, great. Like a crit auto attack Nemesis, okay, I'd probably put that at B tier, but ability Nem jungle full damage, going crazy. Double shields off of Pendulum is ridiculous for team fights. Nua, dog shit, don't play her. Odin, situational because of anti-heal's viability, but everyone can go Shell, which automatically gets you out of Odin all, which I think is stupid. Pele, everyone loves Pele. I don't think Pele's that great. I do think she benefits from the cap at 75% anti-heal. However, she's still the same god that full commits, can be locked down, and then just kind of stands there. I'd put her in B. You could argue A, and I'd allow it. I'd be like, all right, whatever. But yeah, she's not insane. People are trying to act like she's broken. Poseidon, I'd say... I don't think Poseidon is bad. I think he's hard to get away with because of his range is very short and his lack of CC immunity and no mobility. I'll say C tier. Bari, OP, very, very strong ADC with Agni. Easy. That simple. Raw, I'll put Raw in B tier. With the new Nimble build, making the two do as much as it does late game, I put Raw in B tier. For Raw to move up, the ult needs to hit harder. And if they nerf at that 2 at all, Raw will fall down to C or D. Rama sucks. Probably the most inconsistent under right now. No reason to play Rama ever. This one, it hurts to do. So when they ported Scylla from Smite 1, Poseidon Aspect is also mid. They nerfed it. It's really not great. It's playable. It's fun. Same problem as normal Poseidon. You are mid, no CC immunity. Ult's not going to be consistent. Yeah. So Scylla ports over from Smite 1 to Smite 2. They remove the extra minion damage that Scylla got in Smite 1 towards the end. So if you played Smite 1 in season 9, 10, or 11, I think, she had bonus damage to minions in lane and in jungle. It made her insanely strong because she no longer got out cleared by everybody. They took that away in the port to Smite 2. They gave her a +1 on her 2, where at max rank, it leaves behind a slow. They give her a +1 on her 3, where if you dash, you then get like an built-in poly proc essentially from your autos. And then your ultimate, every time you kill somebody, you get 3 stacks of your passive, or if you hit somebody, you get 1 stack of your passive, and it amplifies the ult damage once it's max rank. Those are all dope +1s. The problem is, with the minion damage being removed, all those +1s are late game. Scylla has the worst early game out of every mage in the game. Every true mid mage. Probably similar to like Aphrodite in terms of early clear. Not even. Or Aphrodite starts to clear pretty good in mid at a certain point. Her clear is just bad. She has either the worst or second worst mage clear in the game. In mid, in jungle, wherever you play her. This results in her farming slower and getting the mid game a little slower, which makes her mid game very average. Not good, not okay, extremely average. Then her late game is insane. Her late game is cracked. That's where you start to see the big damage and everything else. The other thing to talk about is if you don't know anything about Smite 1 to Smite 2's changes, In Smite 1, there were a lot of defense items that gave aura prots, right? Or aura, stats. Made you tankier if you were a mage standing next to your support. Those items don't exist in Smite 2. Because of that, they buffed everyone's base health and base protections. So in Smite 1 at level 20, a mage might have 50 protections. In Smite 2, you have like 80. So almost double the defense you would have. This makes Scylla even worse at killing squishies, because nothing in her kit changed to negate that. You do not hit as hard on Scylla. You start to eventually full build hyper late game. That's 25, 30 minutes into the game. I'd probably say Scylla is B tier, borderline C tier right now. Her late game is so good that I really don't want to put her lower than B, but her early game, you're going to get bamboozled. You're going to say, oh, I'll go conduit gem in mid instead. It doesn't make a difference. You still get out cleared by everybody and farm slow as fuck. Your early game damage is bad. At level 2, your 1 hits a god for 50, your 2 hits a god for 70, I believe. I will add a Scylla build up. As soon as you're watching this tier list, there's a build for you to run. It is gonna be the best optimal damage for you. You heavily play around Polly in the mid game. Not enough to put her up higher though. Like, she's dope, but if you sucked at Scylla in Smite 1, if you weren't a big Scylla gamer, you will not be a Scylla gamer in Smite 2 at all. Sobek, I think Sobek's the best support in the game. Extremely consistent and ridiculously easy. If I'm in a rank game, I'm probably if I'm choosing the bans, I'm banning these two gods. I know most people don't play Aspect Agni great, so I'm not too worried about that. And then these two I just deal with. And Kali gets through so much that I also just deal with. I ban these two gods every game. But in reality, you see a mix of these gods banned a lot. Agni's starting to get banned a lot more now. Soul, I'm gonna say mid tier, very B, very okay. And that's more Aspect Mage than anything. I do not like auto attack Soul. I don't think it's great. Susano is cracked right now. The item buffs, the buffs to him, jungler's feeling better over the last 3 weeks. Susano is a very, very good jungler. He's one of the only assassins in Smite 2 that could jump on somebody, kill them, and still have an ability to run away with. That is insane. Thanatos, I don't like Thanatos. I tried crit Thanatos. I've tried cooldown build Thanatos. I've gone like a little tanky with like Cersei's or something to have more survivability. He sucks. His late game is dog shit. He's basically I might sit here and poke a little bit and then I'm gonna look for an execute off my teammates. I do think someone's gonna say, oh, in my games I go 30 kills. Sure, but you still fall off late if the game's even. The Morrigan, I'll be honest, it's so hard, dude, because the really good Morrigan players, she's cracked, but the really bad Morrigan, I'd probably put her in C right now. I think if you're not the 1 or 2 people that play Morrigan and are very, very good at the highest level, there's no point in playing her. Her alt swaps are not big enough. Her burst damage is cool, but she's too easily countered. Her aspect is the one thing that's annoying and keeps her alive, but you have to be very on top of using your 3 all the time to never get ganked. And then you're basically just playing a snoozer sleeper game until you rotate once and hope it works out. I'd probably put her in C. Thor, I'd put in A tier. I really like Thor out of the jungle. I also like Thor out of solo. Very, very strong in both roles. Ul, I'd say C tier because ability hunters are not cracked. They don't have a good early, don't have a good mid, don't have a good late. Vulcan is the highest individual damage mage in Smite as a mage. Like Agni aspect is more auto attacky. As a true mage, I think Vulcan's the best. His downside is a lot of gods destroy him and he gets dove. So you either offset that by crazy positioning or going the scepter that pushes people away. What's the item called? I don't know what it's called. Chat will tell me in a second. Whatever that is. You have kind of some self peel. But once you hit mid late game, your damage output is crazy. Your ult one shots, your 3-1 combo one shots. Spectre, I don't know what it's called. Whatever. People know what I'm talking about. It's the 105 int Jade Scepter. That's what it's called. Thank you, Jade Scepter. That item has a pushback, 105 int, and 150 health. It's very, very good first or second item. I wouldn't go it later. Yeah, I like Vulcan a lot. Downside is no CC immunity. Upside is you should always be in a position where they can't even see you. You should be over walls. You should be hiding, counter warding wherever you want to walk. That kind of shit. Yamoja, I think Yamoja's cracked. Not aspect. The aspect was ass. They buffed Yamoja support. Your 2 heals for 4% of your max health, or it has some kind of health scaling. 4% of your max health. I was healing for 400 with my 2 in a game the other day as support. I didn't even have a full HP build. I didn't even have Thieves, I don't think. I had a lot of HP items, but not Thieves. I didn't have Yogis either. So with Thieves and Yogis, you might be healing for 400 or 500, 600. I don't know. I think it's very strong. Plus Yamoja aspect, or Yamoja ult. I keep saying aspect. Yamoja ult is cracked. It makes people go shell when you really don't care about them going shell. You're not playing it like an Odin. You're playing it as a annoying part of the team fight so you can spam some more. Ymir just gets clapped. I don't mind Ymir in my games. I think he's just too easy to deal with. Cersei's makes him semi-viable, but not viable enough to not die on cooldown. And then Zeus, similar situation to Poseidon. No CC immunity, no true mobility, and you need to be kind of mid-range to do damage. I don't like Zeus. I do think I'm putting Zeus in B and not in C because with Bloodbound Book, it's actually there's potential for you to 1v2 with your 1 doing so much damage. That's that is very consistent. The Bloodbound Book plays. It's not consistent with a lot of other gods. So that's why I'm putting Zeus in B over C. And here's my tier list for OB11. Does Bari need nerfs? Does Bari nerfs to strength scaling and buff to in scaling this patch a shifter way of building? Not really. She's basically just an ADC still. She's just a pure auto attack ADC. That won't change until that 3. So her 3 started off with 30% scaling, and then it dropped to 110, and now I think it's at 95 for strength. It needs to go to like 30. Apollo support, I don't think it's good. I think it's a bait. I think Apollo's aspect is fun. I think there's potential for it out of solo or mid. Maybe jungle, but probably not. I think mid and solo, you have really good lane control, so you're able to be annoying and just kind of run at the person in your lane. I don't think I'd want it in support. Apollo doesn't get played that much, dude. I think regular Apollo ADC is slept on super hard. Can I teach you how to play Vulcan? I literally posted a video yesterday or today, but when this video goes up yesterday, of me playing Vulcan in a competitive game where I dropped 80k. So you could definitely watch that and just see. I think Rama could be F tier. I think you're right. I'm down with that. I don't think I'd put these 3 any lower. I think you could argue these 3 into C tier, but I would not place them in C tier. And I'm not a huge fan of Khepri, especially in a meta where people keep trying to run ranged characters instead of going frontline. Like if you're a solo laner, be a frontliner, be an engager, mainly be a tank, or you're trolling your team. You're making the game impossible.